This video is sponsored by Change Checker. Earlier this week marked the 160th anniversary of the birth of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of the world's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. And Sherlock has since become a great British icon, one of the most beloved and popular characters of all time. And to celebrate, the UK has released a brand new 50p coin, one of the most beautiful designs ever to enter circulation. And in the true spirit of Sherlock, I thought I'd head to Baker Street myself and do some detective work of my own. So today I'm going to visit Sherlock Holmes' home and I'm going to pay for everything using cash and see what cool coins I find in my change. I figured I'd get some disgruntled looks from shopkeepers, but I was hoping to at least find one or two interesting coins. But finding 221B Baker Street required something of an investigation in itself. You see, if you're around my age or younger, then you probably recognise this as 221B Baker Street from the BBC Sherlock series. However, this is actually 187 North Gower Street, a less busy road they use as a filming location over a mile away. The only part of it that's actually real is the now famous Speedy's Cafe. So I've got some carrot cake and some coins. So, let's see. That one's no. That's a 10p. That's no. That's no. It's not. No. And no. The next logical place to look for 221B Baker Street was, well, unsurprisingly, Baker Street. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've come to the right place. Now, if you were to examine a late 1800s map of London, you'd notice that Baker Street was significantly shorter than it is today. When Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote the Sherlock Holmes books, Baker Street only stretched into the early 100s. Number 221 didn't exist, it was pure fiction. But then towards the beginning of the 1900s, the strangest thing happened. Baker Street was officially extended, swallowing York Place and Upper Baker Street whole to create one long continuous road. And suddenly 221B wasn't so fictional anymore. So this is, well, I'm not really sure what it is now, but at the time it was home to a bank. And from the 1930s onwards, this bank, in the location of what was now appointed 221B, was so inundated with mail addressed to Sherlock Holmes that they even employed a full-time secretary to reply on his behalf. People would write from all around the world, requesting the help of Sherlock's famous intuition and detective skills. The standard response was that Sherlock had now retired and lived in Sussex, keeping bees to keep busy. A couple of doors down from the bank is the Beatles shop, and I've just bought something there and finally spotted a cool coin. Using the Change Checker web app, I selected the denomination of coin, so 50p, and entered its year, 2004, and it did the detective work for me. It's going to give me all the options, all the different coins released that year. So there were only two, the standard design and this one here, the one we found. So click on it, so we can see it's a Roger Bannister 50p. There were 9 million of them made, and it's to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile barrier. How cool is that? But back to Baker Street. Something even stranger happened next in 1990. The Sherlock Holmes Museum opened its doors for the first time, located between numbers 237 and 241 Baker Street. The museum consists of a walk-through replica of Sherlock's flat, faithfully based on the descriptions from Conan Doyle's stories, and it's all been lovingly and meticulously recreated. There's a living room with Sherlock's violin, deerstalker hat, pipe and magnifying glass, and even the letters VR he shot into the wall when he was bored waiting for an interesting case. And then there's Dr. Watson's office, Mrs. Hudson's room, and a real Victorian-era bathroom. But here's where it gets strange. Westminster City Council officially and legally assigned the numbers 221B to the museum, so now the street numbers were out of sequence. It went 235, 236, 221, 241. This is the only address in the whole of London to be in the wrong order. And the bank at the real 221B weren't happy. For the next 15 years, an argument ensued with both parties claiming that they were the true 221B, and therefore had the right to receive and respond to Sherlock's mail. The bank eventually moved for unrelated reasons in 2005, and so today, this is the undisputed 221B Baker Street. So this is the real fictional home of a fictional detective who really didn't fictionally live here, for real. Now that we've got to the bottom of all that madness, it was time for the gift shop. So I've got some goodies, and I've got some 50p's. No. That's nice and shiny. 2019. No. Oh wow, look at that one. So again, this is a 50p, and it's from 2018. There are quite a few released this year, but it's actually the top left one. So this coin commemorates the 100th anniversary of the Representation of the People Act, which first granted women over 30 the right to vote in 1918. After a long day's adventure, it seemed only fitting to reflect on the day's detective work at one final stop, London's Sherlock Holmes pub. So this new Sherlock 50p, you can click on the link in the description below to get one for yourself, for only £4.50 plus postage and packaging, over on the Change Checker website. They're really cool if you love coins, or if you're a massive Sherlock fan. Or if you're like me and you love coins and you're a massive Sherlock fan, then it's your dream coin. It comes in a little presentation case, which I actually took it out of and put it in a full-size coin album, which you can also find on their website. I added the 2 coins I'd found during the day, as well as all the coins I've collected over the past few months. The A to Z 10p's, the Beatrix Potter themed 50p's, and some really interesting £2 as well, such as the Great Fire of London, the pair of tube coins, and the Shakespeare set. Sherlock Holmes said that the world is full of obvious things which nobody by any chance ever observes. And I think that applies to coin collecting too. These incredible miniature pieces of art constantly pass through our possession, and most people don't even notice them. So I'll ask you this, I'd really love to know first of all what your favourite coin is, and then what coins you found in your change recently. My personal favourite is probably the Tom Kitten 50p, because I literally have a kitten named Tom, although I do really love the WWF 50p too. And lastly, I'd like to say happy birthday to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Thank you for leaving the world with such a wonderful creation.